Hey everybody, good morning and welcome back to Mad Horse Barbecue. My name is Brian, and in today's video we're going to be firing up the 22-inch double D code, double D meaning 2000 Plum Weber kettle that I just did the full restoration on. I'll include the link to that restoration video in, like right up top here. Super fun to do that restoration, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'm pretty excited to start cooking on this thing today. I did do a burn-in about probably 3 or 4 days ago, to where I just dumped a chimney in a slow and sear and just let it burn, vents wide open until it was gone, just to kind of burn off any of the impurities that might have been left over from any of the chemical cleaner I used. But today, we're going to be using the slow and sear, we're going to be using a dripping griddle, and we're going to be cooking up a rack of St. Louis style ribs. And the way we're going to do these today is we're going to smoke them till I get the color I want, we're going to wrap them till I get the tenderness, and then we're going to just put a little bit of sauce on right at the end, just to kind of make it pop a little bit. But super simple cook today, super excited to do it. Kettle cooking is a whole lot of fun. I kind of think some people might get intimidated by it, but it's so simple, and it's so fun, and it puts out really good food. I mean, you're kind of limited on the the quantity you can have on a 22-inch kettle, but again, I'm just cooking one rack of ribs, so why the heck not? So again, I'm going to take you through step by step on how I do everything. So what we're going to start with first today is getting the ribs ready, so I'll take you inside and we'll do that. Alright, you can see we got a rack of just a regular old Hormel St. Louis style pork spare ribs. We're probably going to make them about either a 9-bone or a 10-bone rack of ribs, so let's just go ahead and get them out of the package first. Go ahead and pat these things dry. And you can see when you get them out of the package, they're kind of scrunched up and they make them look nice in that cryovac. But you can see once you get them out, they don't look as nice. So what we're going to do first is we're going to clean these up a little bit. Like I said, we're going to make them probably about 9 to 10 bones, which our majority of our ribs are going to come from right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and flip it over first. And I'm going to see where the bone starts. Here's one bone, just a tiny little guy, another tiny guy. Probably take off 1, 2 bones there, and I'm going to leave this third one on, and when I do that, I'm going to leave half the meat hanging from it. So I'm just going to try to cut this as straight as possible. Cut it down. Save this for later. And we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Let's just go ahead and take one bone off of this side. And again, I'm going to try to leave meat hanging off the side of it. This for later. Kind of clean this up a little bit. Might actually leave this at a bit bigger of a rack. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 bone rack of spares there, and they actually look pretty good. A lot of the times, I'll probably take one more bone off of here just because it's got all this fat. Yeah, just like that. So we got an 11 bone rack of ribs here. We're going to stick with that. So now I'm going to get the silver skin off and clean some of this hard fat off the back right here as well. Easiest way to do the silver skin is just take a piece of paper towel, and I like to just work up a corner. See if I can work up the whole length of the bone. Yeah, that's going to be good enough for me. Should be good for the trim. Again, you don't have to do this trim. You can pretty much just take it right out of the right out of the package and cook it. But I like trying to make these look a little pretty. All right, now since these are all trimmed up, how I like them, we're just gonna go on with 1 coat of rub today. Rub we're gonna use is, if you hadn't guessed it, you probably could have, but we're gonna use the Tailgaters Barbecue Party Rub. If you haven't tried this stuff yet, first off, what in the heck are you waiting for? And second off, I'll leave the link for the description I'll leave the link for this rub in the description like I always do, but I highly suggest you just give it a try. And I can guarantee you won't be disappointed. So we're not going to use a binder today. These ribs are still plenty wet from being in the cryovac. So to go ahead and give these a healthy coat of the Tailgaters. That's going to be good. So I'm going to go ahead and let these things set out until it's time to throw them on the grill. So right now I'll take you out and we'll get the grill going. All right, we are out at the Double D 22-inch Weber Kettle Double D meeting year 2000. Just thought I'd do a little picture of the grill here first. But you can see we're going to burn some B&B oak lump. We got the Slow and Sear in there. We got the drip and griddle in there. We got the Slow and Sear filled with coal already. So let's take you in and I'll show you how we get this thing going. All right, guys, first things first, you can see drip and griddle right here, Slow and Sear right here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I do have a Weber wax cube right here in this corner. So when you use the Slow and Sear, I'm going to start the fire on one side, and as it burns, it'll burn across. So first thing I'm going to do is open up the bottom vent. And then I'm just going to go ahead and get that wax cube going. While this thing is burning, I'm actually going to go ahead and take a bottle of water. And just pour it in the water tray. That'll be plenty. I'm only going to do one bottle. Usually, a lot of the times with the Slow and Sear, I don't even put water in it, but today we're just going to do it as it's intended. This is the Slow and Sear. I will include the link to this exact Slow and Sear, but I'm pretty sure I bought the griddle. There's a grate for the griddle, the Slow and Sear, and this Slow and Sear, that water drop actually comes off, so if you want to put more coal in, you can. But we're going to go ahead and let this thing burn for about 15 minutes, and then we'll pick back up when I'm closing it down. We have been burning for about 15 to 20 minutes. I got a nice hot bed of coals right here on the right side. I do have a little chunk of hickory and a little chunk of cherry that I'm going to throw in right before I throw the ribs on, probably just a couple minutes before I throw them on. But first thing we're going to do is we're going to close this lid. I got my internal temp up there, monitoring temps today with the ThermoWorks Smoke X4. Closing the lid, Slow and Sear here, vent here. You know, you want that heat to move across, you know, the hot to go across your meat, and then the smoke to go through your meat and then come out. So I'm going to get this thing dialed in. Cook temp today is going to be right around that 275 to 300 range. I've just been having a lot of luck lately cooking at hotter temps. And, you know, and I have good luck too cooking, you know, at lower temps. It's just, you know, lately I've been, you know, why take 6 hours to do something when I can do it in 3 hours? So the goal for today is I am going to try leaving this top vent all the way open. With previous experience using the Slow and Sear, that's not always possible. But when this thing gets to about 250 degrees, I'm going to close the bottom vent to about maybe just a little sliver open, and that's going to be it. We're going to see where it settles in if I do that. So I'm hoping to be able to leave this open, but I probably have to close it a little bit. But we will pick back up when we are throwing the ribs on, so we'll see you in just a little bit. All right, temps are slowly but surely coming up. We're sitting at about 270 right now, so I'm going to go ahead, put the chunks of wood on and throw the ribs on. And like I said, I'm going to put the wood right on top of the hot coals because I want to burn it right away. And go ahead and throw the rack of ribs on. Kind of scrunch them up how I want them. Go ahead and close this up. And now we're going to let these things go for about 1 hour, and then we will pick back up and take a peek at them. So we'll see you in about an hour. All right, we are back. We've been cooking for about an hour. You can see I got the bottom vent pretty much just open a hair. The top vent just open a hair. Once this thing hit about 290, it kind of sort of started getting away from me. So we've actually been cooking around 325 this whole cook. And it is what it is. I think it'll be fine. But we're going to go ahead. Like I said, we're at the 1 hour mark. Go ahead and take a peek at the ribs. Kind of see we got them black blotches on there. We're just going to go ahead and take a paper towel and get them off. And I'm going to take some water and just spritz down the ribs because they're getting a little warm. Close this thing back down, and I'm probably going to let it go for about another half an hour, and we will pick back up. All right, hour and a half in, go ahead and take a peek at the ribs. Yeah, looking pretty good. Starting to get some pretty nice color to them. I got another one of them things I'm going to take off. And I am going to go ahead and give these things a little spritz while it's open. And I'm going to go ahead and close this thing back down. And I think I'm going to let them go for another half hour, and it'll probably be about time to wrap. So when it's time to wrap, we will pick back up. All right, we're back. Go ahead and wrap these things in foil. I'm going to do this super simple. Just going to take a little bit of the Blues Hog Tennessee Red and just put a little bit of it right at the, right in the foil with the ribs. That's going to be good. I'm going to take the rack of ribs and place it meat side down right in there. And then we're just going to wrap it up and put it right back on the kettle, meat side down. And we're going to keep the bones. The bones are right here. The bones are going to face the heat. So we're going to close this thing down. Probably let these things go for about 1 hour. And then hopefully they'll be getting close to done. So right at the end, we will pick back up. Because I think I'm going to put just a little bit of sauce on them. So we'll pick back up in about an hour or so. All right, we're back. 3 hours in. Been in the foil for 1 hour. So let's go ahead and take a peek at these ribs. See how they're doing. Get some nice pull back on them bones. So I'll go ahead and take my ThermalWorks MK4 and do a little probe tenderness test here. 207 internal. So yeah, those are probing like butter. Really nice. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these out and I'm going to put them on the grill. Just like that. Oh yeah, these are nice and these are done. These are looking really good. So go ahead and cover this up. I'm going to let them firm up just for a little bit. And then I'm going to take some more Tennessee Red and just put a little bit of sauce on there. So when I sauce these up for the last time, we'll pick back up. So we'll see you then. Alright, these have been back on for about another 5 minutes. Kind of firmed up a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and take just a little bit of the Blues Hog Tennessee Red and go on these ribs. This is a vinegar-based sauce, so it's really, you know, it's vinegary or watery, one could say. I'm just going to go ahead and let these go for about another 5 minutes, and we'll be biting into them. So when we do the final taste test, we'll pick back up. All right, we are back. These ribs are done. I've had them out sitting just here, with nothing covering them for about, 5-10 minutes just to kind of let them rest and cool off for a little bit. But real quick over to cook times. These were right around like 3 hours and 10 minutes. Did 2 hours right on the grill. Did an hour in the foil, and then about another 5 or 10 minutes with some sauce on it. And here's the finished product. Looking pretty dang good. Nice pullback on the bones. These things are still hot. But I'd say let's go ahead and cut these up and see how we did. Ripped it a little bit. Let's go ahead and take a bone right out in the middle. And oh yeah, I mean, just look how, if I can focus in on that, look how juicy that is. Nice looking sauce on there. Little smoke ring. Let's go ahead and give this a try. Man, that is absolutely fantastic. The Tailgaters barbecue party rub on there is killer. I can taste just a little bit of smoke from that cherry on that hickory wood. And these things are so moist and they're so good too. I took 4 bites out of this and it stays on the bone. That's kind of what you want. Let's try another one here. See if it passes that bite test. Oh yeah, those are absolutely fantastic. So I got nothing else to say. I'm gonna go ahead and probably eat at least half of this rack. The Tennessee Red, you notice I didn't use a lot of sauce compared to what I usually red, but the Tennessee Red just gives it a nice little, it kind of like wakes up the pork a little bit, but it gives it a nice little tang to it. And then you guys know I love the Tailgaters barbecue party rub. So now besides that, I got nothing else. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, because I'm a guy who likes to smoke meat, buy grills, and drink Busch Light. I do appreciate you guys and girls watching, and we will see you next time.